welcome to another edition of Convention Confessional. I am your host, Katy Hunt, and I have my friends join me from time to time, and we talk about different convention experiences, be them good, bad, ugly, hilarious, nightmare inducing. I don't think there's any topic that's really off limits here. I want to have an open podcast for people to share their stories. So today, I would like to welcome my friend Stephanie. Hi, Stephanie.
Hi,
How are you?
I'm fantastic. How are you?
I'm great. And the cool thing about you, Stephanie, is that you're more of like a Midwest person. So,
I
like,
am,
you've
yes.
got like the middle of the country stories for me that I
Oh
have not
yeah.
experienced yet.
Yeah, I've only had a few East Coast convention experiences. Yeah, most of them are very Midwest.
Yes. And because you've done Dragon Con, right?
Yes, I love Dragon Con. That's
And
probably my
did you
top
go to
con.
Katsu?
I have never been to Katsu.
Okay. So you're
So
like
that's
Southern East.
yeah, I do mostly yeah, I've done Dragon Con every year, but that's like a road trip kind of thing or a plane trip now because I'm too old for those 17-hour car trips.
Yeah, no, terrible.
More like, yeah, C2E2, Chicago-based things. So,
Nice,
because I
nice.
am Chicago-based.
Right. Yes. Yeah, no, I still haven't done Dragon Con yet, which is sad.
Well,
And
maybe I don't know if it's gonna happen this year, but maybe next year.
I
You
know we
should.
had plans. We had plans to meet up at Dragon Con
I
before the
know.
world fell apart.
I know.
It was
We
gonna be
will. It will.
amazing.
It will happen someday.
It will. I have faith. Except this time we were talking about it, and the cabin is still available on Airbnb. That was the Avengers Endgame, Tony Stark's house,
Oh, yeah.
and I think it's like 20 minutes outside of Atlanta, Georgia. So
Oh, it's so funny. When I went there, I think 2019 was the last one I went to. Yeah, right?
right,
Okay.
yeah, I'm like I don't know anymore.
What is time anymore?
Right. Eh.
Um, they were doing reshoots for Endgame, and they were filming the diner scene with Natasha and Steve and Hulk, and
Mm-mm.
towards the beginning of the movie, like a day after we left Dragon
Some bullshit.
I was like, "This diner is like 10 minutes away from the con. That's not fair, and I'm
It's
not
not
gonna be here
fair,
anymore."
guys. Well, aside from missing your chance at boning with Chris Evans, what
I
brings you
know.
here today?
Yeah, I'm just here to peek, don't worry about me.
You're right. I just want to see him. I just want to see him.
Yes. I did get to peek at him at Ace Comic Con because
Ugh,
that's a new one that's come to Chicago a few times, so,
jealous. I want to marry the man. I mean, we're both New Englanders. It's like, come on, dude.
yeah,
What as
he
New
is
England
pretty
as they get.
beautiful in
I'm
real
right
life.
here. So, yeah. So I've invited you today to share some stories. I don't know what you're bringing to the table. It's the first
I
time actually that I brought a
yeah.
guest on, and I don't know what's coming. So this is exciting.
I mean, so I was thinking earlier today because I was like, "Oh my gosh," I like blanked completely. I'm like, "I don't know what to talk about." And so I like asked my two different con group friends, and then they were like, "What about this and this and this?" And I was like, "Oh, you guys," I was like, "That's great." Like, I don't have any memories apparently until you like pinged them in my brain. I was like, "Oh yeah, I was there for that."
That's right, I was there. That wasn't a fever dream. All right, well,
uh,
the floor is yours.
yeah, I'm trying to think of which one to start with. Well, I guess you did bring up Midwest stuff, so there is one road trip one that is kind of crazy where I don't know if you've ever been to, was it Youmacon? Yeah, Youmacon in Michigan. Used to take, or I think it still does happen. It takes place usually like outside of Detroit.
Sure, sure.
Um and driving from Chicago to Detroit is still a long trek. It's, a good, I don't remember how many
It's a
hours.
while, yeah, I would
It takes a
imagine.
while to get there. But
Wow.
I just remember, I don't know what year what this was. It was like 2013 maybe. It was a long time ago.
Mhm.
Early con days. I think I was still in college back then. And to give perspective, I am now 33. So
Oh, yeah, so
that's your
old.
perspective.
Oh.
So maybe a good 10 years ago or something or more.
Right.
But we all plan, like my group of friends and we all plan to go to Youmacon together and loaded up the cars and we started driving down the highway And the car I was in, we were like, this was when Adventure Time first aired, and I think all of us were like, yeah, Adventure Time. And as soon as all of us shouted that, the car broke down. I was like, cool, 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 cool.
Cool, cool.
So we're stranded on the highway for, a good while we waited for the tow truck. But this was only half of our party. So we still had another party of people that were going. And there was another car at the apartment that we had all been staying in the night before. So a few of us stayed and chilled at, I think it was an Arby's, while a couple other people went to go get the car. And then we, split up again. And I was in the car with my friends Missy and Al. And we were driving this, so many hours had passed because it took a while for the tow truck to come, to go back to get the car, come all the way back,
Oh yeah, of
etc.
course.
Much time had passed. We were very behind on our schedule, intending to get there early evening. It was now already evening.
Hmm.
So we're driving to Detroit, and then I don't even know what happened. Maybe it was just the stress, the sleep deprivation. We're driving, got turned around, or maybe the opposite. We just went too far. I don't know. But all of a sudden, I saw this big sign that was just like at the bridge, "Welcome to Canada." I was like,
Uh,
I don't think that's where we want to go. And we were just like, oh no, oh no, oh no.
oh
Turn around,
no.
turn around, turn around. This isn't where we want to be.
Oh no. I mean, did you have enough time before you had to cross the border, or was like
Yeah,
it
we
too
did.
late?
Yeah, we did. It was like in the distance, you saw the big glittery "Welcome to Canada" sign.
Yeah, right. Welcome to the true north.
Yeah, I was like, what? Crazy.
Oh no.
So then we turned around. Sorry if you hear creaking. It was just my cat running around the desk, and now she's in my lap. So,
There you go. Yeah, mine's stuck right up my butt right now.
oh, there she is. Must be attached at all times. Um, so then we turned around and we like ran into this abandoned house that was so scary. And then Missy and I were trolling our friend Al about ghosts and how it was all haunted and we were going to be haunted. It was also Halloween
Oh
because
god.
Yomicon is traditionally over like the October 31st through November 2nd weekend. That's kind
Sure,
of
sure.
usually when it happens.
Yeah.
So we were doing that and then stopped at various places to get directions. Sorry, here's the purring ASMR recording now. The cat purr. And then we just kept trying to find all these different places. No one would tell us the right way to get to this stupid hotel, just sending us on like wild goose chase after wild goose chase. And then we pulled into this, I think it was like a hospital, and a nurse came out and she had a dog mask on. And so we started calling her the dog face nurse. And she literally told us to follow like a star or something to go back the other way. It was like something out of the Twilight Zone. We were like, is this even real life anymore? Did we like teleport to a different dimension when we went to the Canada Bridge or something?
Hell is Michigan.
And it was like 1 in the morning at this point. I don't even know. So
Michigan,
we just listened to her. We're like, all right, the dog face nurse must know what we're doing.
obviously.
So, sure enough, like 30 minutes later, we saw the sign for the hotel and then we pulled in and we were like, thank God we're here.
Thank you, Morning Star.
Yeah, it was so weird. But you know what?
Oh,
We made it.
yeah, that's all that matters. Oh god, similar problem several years ago. Actually, back at my first Kineticon, and that was 2008.
Uh-huh.
And one of the girls from work, it's like we were going to get dropped off in Boston and take the bus right into Union Square, in Connecticut, because it's like right down the street from the convention center, kind of.
Mhm.
And one of my friends from work is like, "Oh, I'll drive you guys into Boston, so you don't have to worry about taking a bus, and whatever." And same thing, she came, got us all, and we made it right to where you turn onto the highway, and the car died.
Oh no.
Yeah, it was bad. And then it was like, okay, great. So we were stuck there, and then my friend's dad had to come get us, and we stayed with her until the tow truck came to, like, make sure she was okay, and her dad showed up. And then it just ended up that we ended up back at our friend's house where we started, and one of my other friends was like, "You know what? I'm just gonna drive us to Connecticut." We're like, "Okay." So we ended up just
That
driving to
works.
Connecticut. It was like a sign at that point. It's like, maybe we shouldn't take the bus.
Yeah. I feel like there's nothing worse than the attempt to get to the con. I feel like it's always a nightmare in some way.
Oh god, I had the worst time going to Anime Boston for years. It's just like the tea in Boston, I know now. Like, I drive into Boston from where I am in New Hampshire, like, no
Mhm.
problem now, because I've been doing it for so long. But back in the day, like when I was first going to conventions and I was taking the bus and everything else, and they expect you to take their T system, which is like 6 different colors.
Mhm.
And the green line in Boston, I don't know if you've ever been to Boston or not.
I did many years ago.
Okay, so you know that like, the green line, if you took the T at all, is like it goes to everything.
Mhm.
And then there's different colors that detach off of the green line. And from where you are at South Station, Boston, which is the bus terminal there, it's like the green line will take you to the Heinz Convention Center, which is where Anime Boston is.
Okay.
But if you get on the wrong letter of the green line, you go right past it.
Oh, no.
But you have to make sure that ingoing and outgoing, like you have to depend on like it's like, do I go into Boston if I'm here, but I'm already in Boston, so am I going out of Boston to go to here? Um, just in case you're ever wondering, if you're at South Station, you want to go into Boston because you're not actually in Boston. But I can't tell you how many times I got turned around, like thinking I was on the right line, and I end up like in Arlington outside of Boston for
Oh
some reason.
gosh.
I'm like, just want to go to the con, guys.
Yeah. I feel like when I used to go like on the train to cons, like the CTA in Chicago,
Mhm.
like the L and stuff, it's like you just follow the cosplayers and then you will eventually find your way there.
Right, right. And now it's like everybody just dresses up before they go. Like way
Uh-huh.
back in 2006 or whatever, like when people were barely dressing up, like to
Yeah.
leave the house. I'm like, oh god, I don't see anybody that I know.
Yeah. It is the benefit of being an adult though is like is flying to cons or Ubering to cons.
Yes, now that I have adult money,
Yes, not
and
all of my money goes to the one costume piece I've been
right,
saving up for or something.
right, and now these kids don't even know how good they have it, and we can say that because we're old enough now. These kids don't even know how good they have it because their cell phone has a way better GPS system in it than we could have ever
Yes.
hoped for.
Yes, exactly.
Like,
That's probably why I got so lost on the way to YomaCon
right, because it's
because
like,
it was
well, this
like 2011 or 2013. I don't even know.
like you got your
Sometime.
MapQuest directions and you
Yeah.
got your TomTom like GPS.
Exactly,
And,
exactly.
and nowadays too, you can just like, well, I don't know where I am, but if I call Uber, they'll figure it out. Cool.
Yeah.
God.
That's how I did C2E2 a couple times just because the hotel is ridiculously expensive and I lived downtown at the time, so I was like, "I'm just gonna go there every day."
Yeah, absolutely.
Cheaper in the long run, even though it sucks to leave at the end of the night, but
Oh yeah, that's like the worst
still.
part.
Yeah.
Staying over is definitely the best.
Yep.
Get your hotel right there. You just go hang out with your friends. Decompress in a hotel room. Yep.
Yes. Or stay up, very late and
Yeah.
have shenanigans
Right.
with
Until you
adult
get old.
beverages.
Until you get old, and then it's just like, well, it's 9 o'clock.
Yeah, well, the only time I do that anymore, actually, no, actually, the only time I go ham is when I'm at a con. Otherwise, I'm in that boat.
Right. I say now that I work them so much, it's kind of like a well, I'm up until like 1 in the morning because we're putting out some fire or some crisis or doing some kind of work or something. So,
Uh huh. Oh, that's
oh,
true. I don't have the exhaustion that comes with working a con. I just go there and people watching my cosplays and you know shenanigans.
oh yeah, good times.
If you go to Dragon Con, you will have lots of shenanigans, I'm sure,
Oh
because
god, I can only imagine the trouble that
that
will
is
end up in.
that is the number one party con in my book.
I know, and it's so funny because like all of my friends go to Dragon Con. It's just like one of those things where I just never made it down there. Not because I don't want to go. It's just honestly, I feel like the universe is keeping me from going to this convention for some reason.
That's so sad.
I know.
It's
There was
very
like, there
tragic.
was a couple years where it's like, "Hi, I have to be an adult and I can't afford to go to Georgia." Okay, fine. And then there was
Yeah.
like the year that I signed up to go. I was getting ready to go, and then because of health reasons, I couldn't go.
Mm.
So then like that past year when I finally signed up for it, 2020, we were supposed to go. I'd signed up for it again, and I was like, "All right, we're going." And then the world fell apart.
Uh, yeah.
It's like, okay, universe, fine.
So rude of the
I
universe.
know. It's freaking rude. What the
I
heck?
I've only missed 1 year since, well, I guess I don't count last year because I didn't intend to miss last year.
Yeah, the
I've only
convention
missed
doesn't
1
happen, you don't
year
miss it,
since
but
I've been going, and it's like I missed it. It was, like, painful to not be there during that weekend, but it was like I couldn't afford it or something, and my whole friend group just didn't go that year.
sure, sure.
But it was just like, ugh, like, every time it starts to get a little bit warm outside, I start watching, like, the Dragon Con party videos, and I start getting really hype, and I'm like, "Oh, yeah, it's coming, it's coming."
I'll say eventually I'm gonna have the rest of my friends on here. They'll probably have a Dragon Con story or two. Have you got anything fun that's happened at a Dragon Con you like to share?
Oh, yeah, I have so many Dragon Con stories.
By all
One of
means.
one of my favorite ones is, well, as you are a con goer, you know that there are, like, 8,000 Deadpool cosplayers in the universe.
Oh, yeah.
At every con. But there was this one time where we were walking through the Marriott, my friends and I, and there was suddenly like a Deadpool parade go through the lobby, and they're all dancing and singing and like conga line, and all of a sudden I got like separated from my friends. Like they like split us up, and I just remember like reaching across the Deadpools trying to like grab onto my friend's hand, so I was getting carried away. And then there was like a female Deadpool on top of someone else on another Deadpool's shoulder, and she was like shotgunning like booze into my other friend's mouth. It was just like complete chaos.
Oh my god.
I had to, it was like you had like waiting at a light, you had to wait for the train to go by before you could find your friend again.
Oh my god. Well, a couple of my
Um,
friends are, a part of the 501st.
uh-huh.
I don't think it had anything to do with the 501st because that's, like, the dark side. There's the Alderaan base, which is the good side, and the 501st is all of, like, the quote unquote "bad guys."
Yeah.
But I remember one of them posted something about a parade of
Mhm.
characters, but it was, like, one specific character, and it was, like, the guy that runs around with the ice cream machine in
Hmm.
Star Wars. Like, he, like, runs through it,
Oh,
like,
yeah,
it's
yeah,
turned
yeah.
yeah, it's, like, turned to, like, this cult thing where someone noticed that he was carrying an ice cream machine. But it was, like, 30 of them, and they all had the damn ice cream machine, and they were all dressed up, running through the convention with it.
Oh
It's
my
like, "What
gosh.
is
That's so
going on
funny.
down there?"
That's crazy. Yeah, I the people watching is the best at Dragon Con. I remember also there's this thing called the Pulse Loft, which is like a loft above like the main Marriott lobby where you can just like hang out or whatever.
Mhm.
And I remember just sitting up there and watching this Doctor Who cosplayer and this Fern Gully fairy have the most intense conversation, and it looked like they were having like a relationship fight.
Oh, no.
And it was like very, late night convention, and I just think about them all the time, and I hope she's doing okay.
I hope she's good.
I just really hope like she found a good person if that didn't work out, or if they worked things out, who
Right, right.
knows.
Well, I mean, any conversation with the doctor is rather intense.
True, true.
Oh my god.
But yeah, like what was the other thing? So many Dragon Con stories. Um not 2019, but I think 2018, my friends and I did a Parks and Rec group
Sure.
where we all dressed up as like the Pawnee Rangers, and our friend was John Ralphio, and he had snake juice, and we got pretty rowdy. But but it was a good time. But he also has a giant boombox. His name is Ben. People probably recognize him because he like kind of starts dance parties on the floor sometimes.
Sure, sure.
Um, and he had the Little Sebastian song playing. So we would just like stop, and then we would all just start singing, and then people all around us would start singing the Little Sebastian song. And we just did that for like 3 hours around the lobby and had different groups of people singing with us. It was great.
Uh,
And then I actually met like some friends that way. Like someone had recorded a video of us playing that, and I'd be like, "Oh, that's me." And then I started talking to this person, and now we're like Instagram friends. It's
it's how
great.
you meet people at
Uh
conventions.
huh. It's crazy.
It is. It's probably how I've met most of my friends from conventions, honestly, like, just
Hmm.
random encounters like that.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
so crazy. Like a lot of I feel like I've now found my like core group of con friends. Like they're two separate groups, but actually more like 3, but they all kind of blend together in weird ways.
Sure.
So it's like I have my core people now,
Mhm.
that like drama free, whatever, all good because adults, you get
Right.
through your early 20s of drama cons and then you can just
Yep.
smooth sailing after that.
Yep.
But it's just so funny to be like, "Oh yeah, I took photos with so and so at this con and then the next year now we're actually friends." And it's just, those kinds of crazy happenstances.
Yeah, it's funny, like, I think it's only been, like, a couple of years, but we finally hit, like, our core group of people. I've been going to conventions with the same people well over a decade now. It's like we finally found, like, our clique of people, but the thing is, like I said, I work at a couple of conventions, or I used to work at a couple conventions, just basically the one now. And it's just like a whole different like friends group where it's like, all right, well, I have to go and pretend that I'm an adult and run this convention with everybody, but I will see you guys when I'm not adulting so hard.
Yeah.
But then like the other thing is too is like it's crazy because I'm one of the MCs for Anime Boston now, and I have been
Oh,
for a couple
wow.
of years. Yeah. And
So
I was
fancy.
yeah, and I was the convention main events host for another convention in New Hampshire for like well over 12 years. And it's just so funny to me because like I go and I live my normal life, like you job, whatever, like you have your friends group that isn't like a convention friends group or whatever. And then I go to these conventions and for like 3 days, it's almost like you're a celebrity. It's
Yeah.
really weird. It's really weird because you're just like, I don't do anything. I hold a microphone and I announce people, but like you get off the stage, everyone's just like, "Oh my god, Katie!" And it's like, "Oh my god."
That's awesome though.
It is. And then you go back to work and
Mhm.
reality slaps you in the face really fucking hard and
Yeah.
it's like, "Wow."
I feel that. Yeah,
Yeah.
last Dragon Con I made that big May Queen dress from
Mhm.
Midsummer
Oh my god, I
and
love that dress. It's so good.
thank you.
It's so good.
And like I worked really hard in it and I like my friend transported it for me, et cetera, et cetera. And I felt like so cool. I felt like I was Florence for the day or something because there were so many people just like, "Oh my god." Like and the movie had just come out a month ahead of that, so
Mhm.
it was very fresh on people's minds. They would just be like, "That movie was crazy," or "I have no idea what you are, but you look cool."
You're just sitting there
So
like a pile of flowers. It's
yeah.
funny. You're like, "La la."
I did. I kind of stationed myself at like on a chair in a corner and just like had people come to me because I was like, "This is too much to move. I'm just gonna sit here."
Bring me
And
pizza.
what was it? I think it was, yeah, Captain Jack Harkness, the real one, John
Ooh.
Barrowman.
Oh.
He walked by me and he like winked at me and then kept going and I was like, "Oh, okay."
I'm just gonna die in this bush of flowers.
Uh,
Excuse me.
I was like, "Ooh, I'm Captain Jack Harkness approved."
Woohoo! Yeah, anything that gets a John Barrowman wink is like
Uh-huh.
clutch. Oh
Yes,
man,
so cool.
that's awesome.
Do you have a favorite celebrity encounter at a con?
Oh man, let's see. Oh god, I've met a few. It's like the thing is like there's one voice actor that I've met a couple times, and every time I've met him, I've like wept, and it's not because I'm like a weird over emotional person. It's more like a he was my entire childhood in anime kind of thing. So it's Chris
Oh.
it's Chris Sabat,
Uh-huh.
who's like everybody at Funimation, basically.
Yeah.
And it's I don't know, it's just like this weird, like he gets talking to you and he's the nicest guy ever.
Uh-huh.
But every time like I get to meet him and like afterwards I'm just like, you guys. I
That's
don't
so
know.
exciting.
I mean, I said I met a lot of voice actors and I've got to hang out with a lot of voice actors. Um just because of like working for conventions, you go to the same green room and everything when you're
Right, right.
doing stuff. But I
Mhm.
have to say, probably the best story that I have would be again many moons ago because old as shit. Working at a convention, and I just brought my sister for the first time to her first convention. And I was working it for the weekend, and we were on the same floor as everybody as far as guests and stuff go because we were staff. And I'm walking down the hall, and Chris Kaysen, who is a voice actor, I bump into him, and he'd been coming to the convention in New Hampshire for several years, and we got talking about, New Hampshire and welcome back and all that jazz. And he was very distraught because there was a giant cowboy in Texas that had burned down, who I guess was like it's a big deal in like Texas, like this big cowboy.
Oh, no.
And he was just like he's going on and on about it. He's just like, I can't believe it's on fire. I can't believe like it burned down. Like that's like a staple of Texas. And I'm not even joking. The door in front of us, because we're in the hallway of the hotel, like, like rooms and stuff all around us. The door opens in front of us, and there's Sunny Straight, who, if you don't know, is the voice of Krillin from Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, as well as Maze Hughes
I'm a weeb.
from Full Metal Alchemist, like a bunch of characters. Whips the door open. He's just like, did somebody say burning cowboy?
That's hilarious.
Like we all stared at him. So he and Chris Casey get into like this talk, and my sister and I are dying because we're just like, it's literally something out of like an early afternoon like kids program where it's just like,
Right.
we're talking about this. And then it proceeds to be like, hey, what are you guys doing? Want to go get some Boston cream pie? We heard there's pie downstairs. We're like, okay. So we end up like downstairs with the two of them eating what is not pie, because Boston cream pie is not pie, it's cake. It's a vanilla cake with like a curd filling, and it has a chocolate over
Mm.
it. And they were just very distraught. They're just like, it's called pie. We're like, yeah, but it's a cake. They're like, but it's called pie.
You've shattered
I'm like,
the world.
yeah, I'm like, don't make me explain New England to you. I can't explain New England. Like, we don't have enough time. But I'll probably say like that's probably like my
Yeah.
best celebrity encounter. How about you?
Oh, man. I'm trying to think
See,
because
you
I
posed
have
the question.
I know, I was just making conversation because I
I
was
was like,
thinking about
damn
John
it.
Barrowman. I mean, I could talk about Sarah Michelle Gellar. I mean, that one's pretty dope.
Oh my god, that was pretty dope. I remember that Facebook post. I like wept for you.
I know, like, I weaseled, bamboozled my way into covering a convention she was at for work,
Yeah,
which was like a food, like, social media convention or something, I don't know, so it still counts, it's a convention, it
that totally
counts.
counts.
And I went to go, like I took, like, a selfie with her, and then, like, I went to interview her after that, and we were just talking about Buffy stuff, and the other lady that was with me, she was like, "Show her your tattoo," and I was like, "Oh god." So I, like so they, like, helped me, like, pull my shirt down slightly because it's on my shoulder,
Hmm.
and she was like, "That's me, I'm chosen." And I was like, "Oh my god." And then they were like, "Show her all this stuff." And I'm like, "Oh my god, you're so embarrassing me, all of you." So
Yeah.
I, like, showed her my collection and my Buffy cosplay, and she was just like, "Oh my god, this is so amazing." And then she's also, like, texting Freddie Prinze Jr. while she's talking to me. It was just, like, so surreal.
Like, oh my god, oh my god.
So a lot of people say, like, don't meet your heroes, but that was a very good
Oh
experience
no,
with
that's definitely
my
like one of
number
those.
one lady, so
Yeah, that's definitely one of those I'm gonna meet my hero experiences. Like, hell yeah.
so
Um.
yeah.
Oh yeah, no. Crazy enough. Actually, I just thought of another one. We were down. We were down in Rhode Island for a convention. We were just up as Critical Role. Like we had our whole like Critical
Mhm.
Role group there, and I had gone on Twitter a few months, like about like not even a few months, like a month beforehand with our group, and we were like, "Hey, we're heading to Rhode Island Comic Con," and our whole Critical Role group, and all of a sudden, I get a tweet back from Mary Elizabeth, um, who is the voice of Julia from Cowboy Bebop,
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
and she plays with the Critical Role group
Oh.
as Zara, and she was like, "Oh my god, I'm gonna be at Rhode Island Comic Con. I cannot wait to see you guys."
The
And I was like,
Critical Role people are so
"Oh
nice.
my god, they're so nice." But I was like, "Oh my god, she actually like," and I was like, "Oh, thanks." And we had like a full conversation on Twitter. I was like, is this happening? Like she knows like who we are. So of course, like as soon as we get to the convention, we're like, we have to find her all dressed up because she wants to meet us. And like you're thinking to yourself, like, oh, she's just making face online. Sure, okay, fine, that's fine. Like she's just being polite, whatever. And then the next thing I know is we're up at her booth and she's talking to these other people and she looks up and she sees me and she just like mouths like, oh my god. And like this, like her face lights up. She pretty much
Aw.
pushes the people like in front of her, like, okay, well, it's great talking to you. Fucking bye. And like looks at us. And she's just like, oh my god, come to me. We're like, we walk over. Nicest woman ever. But then she's like hitting the guy next to her. He turns around. It's Stephen Blum,
Oh
who
my
is,
gosh.
again,
Yeah, yeah.
everybody. You know, the two of them are engaged, right?
I didn't know that. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
Julia and Spike Spiegel in real life are engaged.
That's wild.
It is. But then she's like, "Honey, take our picture together." We're like, "Oh my god." So somewhere in the universe, Stephen Blum has a picture of me on his phone dressed up in Critical Role with Mary Elizabeth.
That's magical.
It is magic. It's magic. But I just remember that encounter because again, like the rest of the time she sees us at the convention, she ended up tweeting out about our group, and then all of a sudden at Rhode Island Comic Con, we got like annihilated by people. They were just like,
Aw.
"Mary Elizabeth just tweeted about you guys." We were like, "Okay,
That's
cool."
so exciting.
Yeah, that was wild. I remembered that one. I was like, "Oh yeah, wait." But it's just funny to me. I that's when I found out the two of them were even together, and then I was just like, "Wait, wait, Spike Spiegel and Julia are together in real life."
So wholesome.
It is so wholesome. I was like, "Oh my god,
I
all of
love
my
it.
dreams." You don't ever need something until like it's there, you know?
Mhm. Little
Oh man.
weeb child dreams.
Yeah,
How
seriously.
magical.
Early like 2000s
Yes,
Katie
very,
somewhere. It's like,
very
"It's gonna
early
be
weeb
okay."
dreams.
Yeah, pretty much. Oh
Oh,
man. All right. Well, I mean, Stephanie, thanks so much for coming on. I appreciate you
yeah.
coming to shoot the shit. This has been fun.
Yeah, I'm happy to come back anytime. This is fun to just reminisce about cons since they currently don't exist. So,
Yeah, yeah. I mean, like I said, you ever think of a story and it hits you, you just message me. We'll make a
all
whole
right.
another episode.
Sounds
Ah,
good.
anything you like to promote while you're here?
I guess you can follow me. I feel so like shameless doing that.
Do it. Do it.
You can follow my Instagram at Instagram or at stephplusverb,
Mhm,
which is where I post my cosplay. Lots of Black Widow, and you can see my May Queen, which I talked about.
mhm, mhm.
And also, I stream pretty regularly, like 3 or 4 times a week, various video games like Overwatch and Final Fantasy and stuff. And that is also Steph plus Verb. So
Is that on
come hang
Twitch?
out. Yeah, twitch.tv/Steph plus Verb.
Excellent. Excellent. Sweet. Yeah, shameless plug. Get it in there. We love it. All
Heck
right.
yeah.
Well, thanks, guys. Thanks for tuning in for another episode, and we will see you next week. Bye, everyone.
Bye.